Dayton Discount Furniture. The name explains itself. Really comfortable recline. Mattresses. This sectional is only $6.99, and this episode of Decoding Dayton is free $99, thanks to Dayton Discount Furniture. The name explains itself. Dayton Art Institute. Someplace you should definitely know. Top 5 thing to see in the city of Dayton, the Dayton Art Institute. So what's so special about DAI? Well, we'll get into all that, but did you know that one of the Pattersons, one of them helped set this whole thing up? That there was a zoo here at one point? The architecture is fantastic. What are these other stories? What's the behind the scenes? Let's go find out about it. Decoding Dayton, we're all about behind the scenes. Dayton Art Institute President and CEO Michael Rediger starts us off above the museum. This is going to be great. So, are we rolling? Yeah. Okay.
You ready? You want me to go first?
No, I'm super excited.
Are you? I'm excited too.
I mean, this is the stuff.
I mean,
this is the behind the scenes stuff. Well, what was this room?
This is all where all of the HVAC and plumbing and everything was above the galleries. Okay. The boilers are way below, but this is how we brought light into the galleries and how they blew the HVAC for heat through the galleries. Okay. So we're going up into what was the old overlooking the galleries, but in the '97 renovation, they put in catwalks. Okay. Before then, see that board? Yeah. Before then, that's all they used. They would move boards around, and you'll see some of the boards are still sitting there from from 1930 to 1997. Oh, wow.
All right.
I'll go first. You got to step up. All right. Were you good on the monkey bars?
Yeah.
Grab around the end. Grab on there. Come on through. There you go. There you go.
This is awesome.
Watch your head, because a lot of stuff's low.
Yeah.
So you are above Great Hall. Okay. And so these are called ley lights. And originally, this would have, up here, all been glass. So natural light would have come down. Okay. We filled that in so we'd stop leaks. And now this is all LED lit to simulate when you're in the Great Hall looking like it's still natural light coming in. Okay. We can crawl through here and look into a deeper part of it. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that?
We're in.
We're willing to do it, everybody? Okay. Watch your head coming up.
Andrew, I hope my butt looks good.
I was saying, Jason, as you look down, there's things that have fallen through the years, and when they put in the catwalk, we would find things from the workers that were here in the 30s. So they would drop their milk bottles or their lunch pails, and they're just buried into the structure because there's no way to get them out.
Right, just becomes part of the museum.
Yeah, so see here the old boards again? We're still use some of them, but that's all they had pre these catwalks. You can actually see these windows from the Hale Cloister. From the outside on the roof. And so that was how they got all the natural light into the museum at one time. There were windows everywhere.
I love these old roofs.
Isn't this cool?
Yeah. This architecture, these lions, this is fantastic.
The lions are just a coincidence with Leo being in front of our building. Right. But they tie together really nicely.
Very nicely.
So we're right over the Hale Cloister. Okay. Which is the only open cloister left. This is a favorite spot of people in Dayton because you can see it's one of the best views of the city.
It's unbelievable.
So Julia Shaw Carnell, our founding mother of the museum, picked this spot specifically because she could look up the river and see the city. So this was strategically placed on the hill this way.
Now, what's her full name? She's the Patterson.
Julia Shaw Patterson Carnell. She was a philanthropist, she was a socialite, and if she lived today, she would be a really powerhouse businesswoman. Okay. So she was really able to make the community what it is today by influencing people. Right. There used to be 2 mansions that stood here. Right. And she got the people to donate the land and their homes, tear them down, and then build the museum. So originally this was called the Music Hall.
Okay.
And it was designed to do, obviously, music, chamber music, musicals, kids' dances. One of the things that's really neat about this space is this was the first auditorium that the Dayton Ballet used.
Oh, wow.
So this was their first home.
Okay.
And they're the second oldest ballet company in the country.
Absolutely.
So right here, which is really cool,
right.
that we're proud to partner with them on that. So then later on, this became the NCR Auditorium.
Okay.
And it was named in honor of the family, the Patterson family, and NCR, and the generosity they'd given to the museum over the years.
Right.
And then last year, NCR graciously released the name because we needed to renovate the auditorium. Right. And fortunately, philanthropists in town, Mimi and Stuart Rose, stepped up and gave us a gift that allowed us to put in all new seating, all new flooring, carpet, lighting, sound, recondition all the marble and the wood. We even conserved the original curtain and valance, which was installed in 1932. If you look up here, this is called the Heavens.
Okay.
And this has an ability, our lighting person can change it to look like the sun is setting and rising.
Okay.
The ceiling and the proscenium are original to the building.
Proscenium.
Proscenium, that is the framework around the stage.
Okay.
But they're not original to this building. Julia Shaw Patterson Carnell had them brought over from Europe from another building. These are in the collection. They're considered part of our collection. Amazing. So she was big on conserving and saving things, and we see that throughout the building.
Yeah.
Areas that look older than they are older than
right.
that. Because Julia had the foresight to go shopping when they were tearing buildings down in Europe and bring them over here.
Man, this auditorium, unbelievable.
Isn't it beautiful?
I really
turned out wonderful.
Absolutely.
Did you know, though, that the museum started as a school?
Yeah, I did
so
know, because my mom went to art school here, and also my dad.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So the school started in downtown Dayton on Monument Avenue at the corner of Sinclair and Monument, and it was there from 1919 until 1930. Until this beautiful building was built. Okay. And the school was on the lower level of the museum, and the studios were in the little building that's off to the side of the museum, and the museum was on the upper level. So students were in this area all the time. I mean, there would be 200 or 300 students in the lower level studying, working with curatorial staff, using the library and the cafeteria. And then
college age students.
It was college. You could get a 4-year degree here. There are people who in town who still have their 4-year degree from the Dayton Art Institute.
Okay.
So this is one of my favorite places in the whole museum. I love to come out here all 4 seasons because it changes. And there's no other place like it in Dayton that there's a cloister. This space was supposed to be a scholarly place where you would come and reflect as a student. That's what a cloister is. And Julia Shaw Carnell said if there were no cloisters, there'd be no museum. She insisted that Edward Green, the architect, work the cloisters, and he really struggled with it. But we're really glad he did, because they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And this is what I was telling you before of how some of the materials she brought from Europe, all of these columns and capitals are from different places. And you notice they're all different.
Yeah.
The reason they're all different is she wanted students to be able to study different design elements and different materials.
I never noticed
Yeah.
that.
So
I've
they
been
were
out
brought
here 100
here,
times.
right, and they're all different. Some of them go back to 300 AD. Years ago, in the 40s and 50s, it was part of the Wang Zoo. Did you know we had a zoo here?
I heard about this.
Yes, we had quite an array, a menagerie, if you will, of animals. And in this space, it was peacocks. There were albino peacocks, regular peacocks, geese, all kinds of different ducks and birds were out in this space.
Okay.
But then as you would go through the museum, in the galleries, there were birds on perches in the Asian gallery. There was a koi pond in the Asian gallery. And there were monkeys in cages. Monkeys are not good in museums.
No.
They throw things.
Right.
They
I
may
can
be
imagine
fun.
what they
throw.
Right.
And then on other parts of the grounds, because remember, the contemporary wing wasn't here, nor was the rotunda, so the grounds were bigger.
Right.
There used to be llamas and sheep. There were donkeys, Coca and Cola, and a surprise baby named Coquette, and all other kinds of fowl. So it was really,
Coca
it really was
and Cola.
Coca and Cola and Coquette.
Dayton Art Institute's chief curator, Jerry Smith, tells us the journey of how some of these wonderful pieces came to the museum.
So this work here, Joy of the Waters by Harriet Frischmuth, was the very first item that came into the collection in 1919.
Oh, wow.
So when you look at a label, for instance, when you look at the label that with the information there,
okay,
you will see a number.
Yeah.
And that one, 1919.1. That's showing that it's the very first object acquired in 1919.
So I'm in awe. We're staring at a Monet.
Claude Monet. Fascinating thing about this is how it got here,
Okay.
which was the director at the time, Esther Seaver, 1953. She knew of this painting, knew that the owner had it in New York, so she wrote a letter, April 1st, 1953, saying, I saw the painting previously. It's such a wonderful example. Dayton Art Institute is a great institution. He responded on April 7th saying, I think that's a great idea. Rather than leaving it in New York, I'll gift it to somewhere else in the country because the arts are so rich in New York.
Right.
Dayton deserves something like this.
Yeah.
He'd never been here.
So a storage area.
Yes, this is the part that nobody gets to see.
Well, this is what it's all about. I mean, we're decoding, right?
Yes.
What's the thing that no one knows?
Well, for instance, we have 26,000 works in the collection, and only about 500 are on view at any given time.
Wow.
And so we have to keep the works. Reason you're hearing a noise is it's a machine that keeps the temperature at near 72 degrees,
just
plus or minus,
Yep.
and 50% humidity. So we have that in the museum, and we have it in the storage areas. And this is one of them. And these here we have all the paintings on the racks. We'll actually be switching out. We're changing out these racks soon to put in a newer rack system, which will give us even more space to store more art.
And they look like these things slide?
They do. They roll out. They glide out.
Can we roll one of them out?
It just glides out like this. And that allows you access then to the different paintings. And the one that we get next will be even smoother and even nicer.
Right. This piece here is just fantastic.
Oh, we have so many works. And that's one of the great things about storage.
Yeah.
We store them not by region, not like you're going through the galleries, but we store them by size.
Yeah.
What's going to fit on the screen. So that's why sometimes you'll find these early American things next to the most contemporary work.
Right,
next
because that's
to
how it fits.
Asian work. Yeah, that's how it fits.
It looks like it's heavy. Is it heavy?
Yeah, they have some weight to it, sure.
Just a little bit?
Just a little weight. It's that initial, you have to get it going.
It's a pretty magical place.
It absolutely is. I learn something new every single time I'm here. The remodeling that's happening, the things that are happening with downtown, the stuff I learned today. You know, I'm just blown away.
Well, I'm just really excited you guys came and that you helped decode the Dayton Art Institute.
We did. We decoded
we're
it.
a part of downtown, and it's just so exciting to see people excited about the museum.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming and visiting us. We hope you'll come back sometime.
We will, 100%.